So let me just record, and I think I'll share my screen. Let's see, where are we? Is it showing you my screen or no? No? Let me try that again. Okay, now?
Yes.
Okay. So, so I did some cleaning up in the module today, just because there were so many practice assignments, and I don't really think you need to do all those practice assignments. So now what it looks like is there's one practice assignment and the assignment you're going to do to turn in. And let me see if I can't just find that module for you. So there's this article that you should have access to, and then there's the learning guide, which is written information on, so what does all this mean? Those are helpful for you before you write up the interpretation. I think I would look carefully at that. This is the how-to, step-by-step how to run the analysis. And then there's the example problem and the example data set. And then this is the problem you turn in, and that's the data set for the one you turn in.
Just quickly, this thing that you have on the screen, that's the how-to, is the thing that you got from the website, from the
Yes. Yeah, because the links weren't working for whatever reason.
I texted Jenny today and I was like, the link doesn't work, and she said go to the website. And then I found this, but it was like on the module, like on the next page, I saw that you put a link to this.
Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't working, but I added it here.
Okay.
And then I did get an error message that said it's probably because the website is under construction or revision or something, but this one worked a while ago. But if for whatever reason it decides not to work again because they're messing with the website, it's on that virtual CRNS website. Does everybody know how to get to that? Just go to nursing and then research, and it says virtual CNRS. But anyway, that should be all you need. And then, in the page for this module at the bottom is the video, and it walks you through exactly what to do. This video is going to walk you through conducting repeated measures ANOVA analysis in S. So that matches the how-to guide.
And Bonnie, did your screen change, or mine stayed the same?
Yeah, we're still stuck on the repeated measures ANOVA and SPSS.
Oh, you are. Why is it that I cannot get you where I am? Let's see here. New share. All right. Now can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is module 12, that overview page. And at the bottom of the overview page is this video I created that walks you through step by step exactly how to do the analysis for this assignment. And it uses those the practice data set and the practice questions. So work through those, and then if we go back to maybe it's just back.
So, just so I understand, this is the one, this walks you through it for the assignment that's due now, but it's kind of, this is posted, this is the one that's posted previously. Right?
Yeah, definitely things are out of sync with our due dates. So it's absolutely in. Can you see the modules here now? Are you guys on the same page I am? Module,
Yeah, module 12.
Yep.
That's where you're going to go. And then down here where it says assignments, this is where you're going to find what you need to do this assignment. So here's the practice stuff that go with this how-to. And then this is the assignment you're going to hand in. But the process is the same.
The process is the same as the one in module 12.
Yes, and it's the same as these are the same as what's in module 12 right here. That's a how-to step by step, showing you the screenshots of the same thing that's in the video. This is the same problem that's in the video, and this is the data set that's in the video. So you'll walk through these with the video, and then you'll just repeat the procedure with this new assignment and the new data set, and answer just those 4 questions.
And the interpretation you said would be, a lot of that is from the article that you posted and the reading in the book?
Yeah, so as you look at your output on your SPSS output, a good way to approach this is to sort of explain what's in the output as you're part of the interpretation, if that makes sense. So if, for example, in the assignment that you just turned in, it gave the descriptives, and then it talked about the Levine's test, and then it did the ANOVA. So if you just describe what each of those things mean, you should be good with the interpretation. And both of the textbooks and the this learning guide have really good descriptions, and I can move to this learning guide and show. It tells you what this is about, but then as you're that's not what I was after. As you're looking at the assigned readings, so those are listed for you here. And if you look at chapter 9 in particular in the Monroe's statistical methods, it's really going to talk about the interpretation, how to do that analysis and how to interpret it when we're talking about comparing more than 2 means. So I think that will help you with the interpretation. But basically, talk me through what is on the SPSS output after you do the analysis. So, questions?
Do you want an interpretation more than the 4 questions?
No.
Okay.
But let's see if I can go to those questions so I can be specific.
Explain how you know the answer, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's number 2 is like interpret that. And I think that's where the questions. So is there a difference? Is the assumption, and then, so how will you know what test are they talking about? And then do boys and girls differ? That means interpret what you have on the output that answers that question.
Okay.
So you're going to need to sort of repeat what you did last time,
Mm-hmm.
as far as describing what do the descriptive statistics tell you, what are the what is the repeated measures ANOVA tell you, and then the graph.
Okay.
Oh, and you're going to, for number 3, you add the boys and girls, the gender piece. But no, it's answering those questions, but it's using the data in the SPS output to answer those questions.
But why does it say that you should be able to complete the assignment in 3 to 5 pages? Like, to me, that seems answering these 4 questions shouldn't take that many pages.
No, and the point of that is don't give me a 15-page proposal here. I just want the answer to those questions. So if you cut and paste the graph, it can take a page. And if you cut and paste
you're talking about even with handing in the analysis.
Yeah.
It's the analysis, but you could answer all these in 1 page probably, really.
Yeah.
Like
if you said refer, see the analysis. Yes. Yes, that's a good point.
Okay.
This is Sonia. I'm sorry I jumped in late.
No worries.
Did you say that we could like turn into like the analysis in like one and then our answers in another, or do you want it all in one combined word?
Doesn't matter to me. The way people have been doing it both ways, and I don't really care as long as everything's there. We did say that if you're going to give me the SPSS output, just make sure that you've explained all of the data that's pertinent to those 4 questions.
Okay.
Other questions about that? And Danya, I don't know if you heard at the beginning here, we were talking about the video showing you how to do the analysis for those practice assignments. The practice question is in the overview page on Module 12. So if you missed that for Module 12, it's just at the very bottom of that overview page, and it walks you through. There's also a how-to sheet that is just screenshots of that same information. And then there's a practice data set and the practice question. After you do all of that, then you should be prepared to tackle the assignment that you're going to hand in.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. And that's this one on the NICU study. So are there other questions? You guys are in the home stretch.
I just have a quick question about the midterm questions. That there was a question I think that you said to some people had more than one answer, and I was wondering if you were going to adjust grades based on that that question.
Yes, I did, and if I somehow missed yours in some way, send me an email about the specifics, and I'll double check it, because I did recode them.
I probably need to check it and make sure that it was one of the ones. I think I had one of the ones that had 2 answers, because it was one of the ones that I initially got right, and then when it was regraded, it was wrong. And I think that's one of the one that I think that's the one that might have had 2. So I'll look and see and let you know. I just wasn't sure if you were doing that with everybody. And
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And I thought they were all regraded correctly, but if I missed something, I will fix it.
I may be.
Let me know. Anything else? Tanya, you are showing up on my screen upside down. Not
Yeah. I don't know. The last couple of times I've Zoomed, it's upside down or it won't show up. But when I just try out my camera on my computer, it's fine. So it's somehow when it's connecting with Zoom,
Uh-huh.
flipping the camera around, and I have no idea how to fix that.
You're keeping us on our toes here.
Yeah, like I said, a couple of times it won't even show up on the forward camera. The back camera will work, but
That's
the
fun.
front camera is not working for some reason connecting to Zoom. I'm like, at least I'm here.
Exactly. I don't know if it captures all of these on video when we're recording it or not. I'll have to go back and watch and see if you're upside down on the video.
Yeah, it's been like the last 3 times that I've connected in Zoom. I don't know what it is. They probably have to reload Zoom or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, is there anything else?
I have one more question.
Sure.
So we're finishing up this Quant 1 class with you, and then next semester we take Quant 2 with Paula, I think, right?
Yep.
What can we expect in that class? Is it really still sort of similarly more of this, or is it like do you do a deeper dive into some of the stuff? Will I learn more about what I'm doing wrong here?
Yeah, what she does is a lot more in depth, kind of. I mean, it's more. We already call this advanced, but more sophisticated model testing. So you'll do some complicated linear regression and some multiple regression models, so that you can do more with more sophisticated analyses. So what we've tried to do here is just kind of lay the foundation and the principles, and then she gets into a little bit more of what you'll probably actually do for your dissertation. So you might be able to add modifiers and mediators to your intervention study if that's what you're doing, or do more sophisticated logistical regression if you're just trying to look at predictors, and so it's builds on what you've done in this course, but gets more complicated. So you can answer questions in a different way, add more variables in different ways. I'm going to remember somebody's, maybe your paper, Jenny, as I was looking at the correlations, as you looked at, I mean, you could definitely say there's some mediators in there. And I think some other people did too, the self-efficacy, and then that if the self-efficacy goes up, then the outcomes might improve. Well, the self-efficacy part is really a mediator, but we didn't talk about all of that in this course. So, and sometimes gender is a moderator. So those are, you'll just get more sophisticated on what to do with all the variables of interest.
Yeah, I think that was the hard part with the proposal paper, was not knowing exactly how, like, okay, I think I want to run these tests and these are the best tests, but not knowing some of that more in-depth piece that's where I struggled. I know a little bit in writing that paper was,
Yeah.
I think these are the right and the best tests, but we haven't really
Right.
kind of gotten there. And so,
Yeah.
then to say, well, these would be the outcome. I'm like,
Yeah, and that's why I recommended kind of going with a more simplified question that's specific to what we've addressed in this class, just because there's some of it. Most of you will end up doing a dissertation that will use analysis that's more complex than what we've covered in this class. And so that's that's, you'll add the quant 2 if you're headed in that direction. And you'll refine, hopefully, the proposals. I mean, I've already told you my philosophy is try to build on each assignment for each course to get you closer to either the project for Tamara or the dissertation for the rest of you, so that by the time you are done with the coursework, you're really ready to defend a proposal and move on. So, yeah, but you're absolutely right. You will refine it in the next course for sure.
I just wanted to share with everybody too that I did use the statistical help from the I'm going to say it wrong, the CCR Nursing Research Group, where you sign up, you go to the website like Bonnie showed us at the last Zoom, and you sign up. And I signed up, and the next day they emailed me back, and they were not happy that it was a holiday week, but they still helped me, which was so nice. And I met with somebody on campus, and he was really nice, and really helped me understand some things that I didn't understand about the analysis. And he also, like, he's so smart that he just was like asking me like, well, what are you doing? And what do you think about this? And it's a lot of stuff that I hadn't even thought of. So it's like on the spot, I'm going, well, I guess it's this and this many, he took my tool and we pulled out the mean from the tool, and then he pops it into this incredible program system. But it was really, really interesting. And it made me think a lot about the gap that I have is, I think what Danya just said, it's the actual like understanding exactly how to describe the study piece, the method of that. But it was really great. And I would encourage everyone. He said that guy I talked to, Brian, he works mostly with the, he said the DNP students doing their proposals is what he said. But basically there's people there who work more with the PhD people and the DNP people. And he was really nice, and it was very, I guess I'm saying it was really easy to access, and I would encourage everybody to use that service because it's free. I mean, free. I mean, we all pay for being in school, but you know what I mean? You don't pay the guy directly to help you. And he was so helpful.
And for those of you who are not on campus and you can't just walk over, they should be able to set it up for you virtual. And if they can't, get on and send them the Zoom link from here.
And did you have him help you with your paper or with the assignment?
I had him, no, not the assignment. No, I'd met with Bonnie and I wasn't sure how to power my study. I wasn't sure how to do the sample size. So that's what I met with him about. He takes the tool, and using the tool and some data we know just from the CDC and engagement and care, he plugs that into first we talked about one piece and he plugged it in. And then we talked about the chi-square, and then he realized by looking at what we know from the CDC that the chi-square wouldn't probably work because you have to have more than 5 people in you can't have one box with less than 5 people. And it was a possible box that might have had less than 5 people. And because of that, he was like, oh, so then we really need to use the Fisher's exact test. And then he's telling me, but I didn't really know, I know what that is just from reading about it, but I wasn't really clear. And he said, and this is why I really like that. And he went into this explanation of why he actually prefers that test. And it was very interesting. So it wasn't, it was more that he was helping me figure out just the powering of it. But he actually said, I'm happy to meet with you again after break when you get, when you're kind of thinking about this in a different, in a more in-depth way, which that's why I was sort of thinking with Paula's class, if we're still working on the same thing and getting better at it, because I obviously have work to do, then he was willing to help me again, which was really nice. So it wasn't help with assignment. It was my paper.
That is nice. And that's good to know, that they're there to help with that. Cause that's kind of where I'm at is I've read about all these in the book, but as I'm reading it and doing the assignments and actually applying it is where all the light bulb, I'm like, oh, now that's all starting to make sense. But that would be helpful to probably meet with them. And as I'm doing a ton of data right now at work for this big report that has to be due next week, I'm like, oh, that's good to know.
It is. And he also, I told him, I said, God, some of the stuff I'm really not that smart at. And I always kept making self-deprecating jokes. And he was just like, no. And he'd stop me and he'd explain. He'd say, no, the reason why you need a bigger number to see the smaller effect size. It's because of this. And he was just, it was great. And I was just thankful that Bonnie told us about it. And I was telling a couple other students and they were like, what did you do? And he said he didn't hear from any. He goes, what class is this? I haven't met with anybody from this class yet. And I was like, well, I'm going to keep telling them about you because I think it's such a great resource.
Maybe we should have them come and just introduce themselves when you're like at intensives.
It would be so great.
That'd be good.
Face and a name, and you can connect with them.
And how they can help us.
Right.
And I think too, just how easy it was. Like that's the thing, because I think we all are so busy, and we're all like, many of us are full-time school, full-time job, full-time everything else. And the reality was, when I realized I was in the middle of writing my paper, and I was like, I still need this power analysis, and I filled out the form. And the fact that they emailed me the very next morning, and then I met with them the very next day, like it was that fast, was really, really nice.
Impressive. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Any
This
other?
is kind of a different question, but similar. Are there resources on campus to help us more with our job, like data stuff? Because I have a bunch of data that I've been struggling getting analyzed. And
Yeah, Children's actually has statisticians that you can meet with to help you. And I'm not, don't you report to Kathy Kleiner?
no, I report to Adrienne Diedemeyer.
She should be able to tell you how to access them, but absolutely there's resources available at Children's for you guys.
Okay.
Are there any other questions or any other comments? Tamara, you can access that Brian in that lab the same as anybody else. And as Emily mentioned, he actually does the majority of the DMP projects. So he's available for you as well.
Okay, great.
Okay, if there's no other questions, I guess I'll sign off and let you analyze data.
Can I do have one more question. Do we have one more Zoom set up before our next assignment, right?
Yep, I think it's next week, isn't it? Or is it?
Right now, it's day by day right now.
Yeah.
Barely keeping my head on straight.
Let me.
Clearly, it's all upside down. Your
I
head's
know,
not
right?
here.
So,
No wonder your head's not on straight. Yeah, we have one more Zoom, and it's next Tuesday for this
Okay.
class.
thank you.
Same time. Same time and same place. Okay, email me if something else comes up or you have questions, and hopefully we're done with the problems with SPSS version 25, and but who knows? So email me if you have trouble, and one of us will figure it out. Otherwise, I'll talk to you next week.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.